So it's what, 6, 7 a.m.? The alarm hasn't even gone off, but the phone is already glowing in your hand?
That soft glow.
Right. You're doom scrolling before you're even fully conscious. If you've ever been in, a leadership role or certainly part of a campaign, you know that immediate pull.
That visceral need to react,
Yeah.
to perform.
Before your feet even hit the floor. Today, we're looking at a solution for that specific kind of burnout. We're doing a deep dive into Digital Disciple from the FaithFlow Campaign Series.
And it is such a familiar scene for so many people. You feel like you have to be on before you've even had a chance to just be.
And the usual advice is all about strategy, right? Hacking the algorithm.
Exactly. Boosting engagement. But what makes Digital Disciple so interesting is that it goes the complete opposite direction. This isn't a manual for going viral. It's a toolkit for survival.
That distinction is so key. I mean, looking through the materials, this isn't about how do I get more likes.
Right.
It's how do I keep my soul while doing this. I was really struck by the crisis tone gauge. It's a physical dial in the toolkit.
I love that part.
Because in that environment, every negative comment feels like a total emergency. This tool, it forces you to actually categorize the threat level before you even type.
It creates a friction point, a pause. So instead of that knee-jerk reaction, you have to actually look at the gauge.
Is this a pause to pray moment?
Or is it time to take action? Or is this a real all-hands-on-deck crisis? Most of the time, our nervous system is just screaming all hands.
Yeah, for sure.
But reality is usually just pause to pray. It forces discernment over pure reaction.
And that pairs so well with the piece-paste posting grid. I really appreciate that it's not just another calendar, it's more of a filter. The guide suggests using it at the start of the week to align your content with your actual capacity, not just what the news cycle is demanding.
Which prevents that desperate scramble to post something, anything, just to stay relevant.
Right. The phrase they use is, let prayer become your password and discernment your algorithm. Which sounds poetic, but the 10-day social media planner actually makes it practical.
So you're not posting because you're panicked. You're posting because you've planned it with a clear head.
But let's ask the hard question here. We're talking about faith tools in a digital strategy. Is the idea here just to, start posting Bible verses to solve PR problems? Because that can feel a little reductive.
No, and the text is very, very clear on that point. This is not about performative religion. The core tension the book really gets at is, who is forming me, my feed or my faith?
I see.
It's about integrity. If you're burned out and angry behind the screen, that comes through in your posts, no matter how polished the brand voice is.
So it's stewardship of your voice.
Precisely. There's a line in the source material that just says, you don't have to go viral to be faithful. You just have to be available.
And how do they help you do that?
Well, they include the engagement discernment grid. So before you reply to a really difficult comment, you read it through this grid. Does this stir peace or does it stir strife?
Does it build others up?
Exactly. And if not, you just don't engage.
It's interesting how this all plugs into the wider FaithFlow system. We've looked at other parts, and it seems like Digital Disciple doesn't work as well if you haven't done that prep work.
You're right. You really need the data from the FaithFlow quizzes first, especially the spiritual gifts and the leadership pathway assessments.
Before you even pick up the social media planner.
Because you can't align your voice if you don't know what your voice is. If an assessment shows you're a teacher, your social media shouldn't try to mimic someone who's an encourager.
The burnout comes from trying to wear someone else's armor.
That is it. That's the perfect way to put it.
And that alignment is shown so well in the companion flipbook, The Scroll and the Stillness. It's a story about a woman breaking that morning phone addiction we started with. She realizes her piece wasn't loud or flashy, it was just steady. She stopped letting the phone dictate her emotional state.
She learned to curate her integrity, not her image. And that's really the core insight here. You don't have to master the algorithm.
You just have to remain,
as the book says, grounded in grace, rooted in truth, and steady in purpose.
It's a relief, really, to hear that you don't have to carry the weight of the entire internet. You can just do your part and then log off.
And that's the final challenge the book leaves us with. It asks, what happens when you log off and lean in? Real ministry, real leadership. It so often happens when the screen goes dark.
A good reminder to check your own crisis tone gauge next time you reach for that phone at 6 a.m. You don't have to lose yourself to serve well.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive into Digital Disciple. We'll see you on the next one.